What the tits?
Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my
Baby
boy,
Snyder. Like Bregman
Zach,
over there.
the master debater, Elias. What's up, buddy?
I master debated all over Ann's face.
You got your
Yeah.
tits lit, as you like to say
Oh,
last week.
please. I killed him. Our friend George said it was pathetic watching him with notes like he's Joe Biden. I came in there cold and rolled him.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. We appreciate when people share the episodes. Leave some love for me. Leave some hate for Zach.
Absolutely. By the way, and not that it matters, he was a great sport. Did I make too many weight jokes? Did I go too hard in the paint there? Whatever. I'll apologize on my deathbed. He can die his way. I'll die mine.
We have a great episode for everybody tonight. But before we get to the episode, Zacharias, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
Because I drank both of those beers like a man last week, unlike Andrew, who had like a curly straw for his. I found this from the Flagship Brewing Company, Fresh Kills IPA. Flagship because it sounds sort of like what Bob Huggins got in trouble for saying twice.
Which is on my list. Zach.
Twice he said it.
Did you actually go out and put effort into this show?
None. This was in my fridge.
Back of the Fridge Brewery?
Yeah, back in the fridge brewery is fine. And I did watch it, Ann. But thank you for tuning in today. What are you drinking? This is going to be terrible. I've had one of these before. I knew it was terrible the first time.
We talked about this before the episode last week, Zach, and you were like, we're just going to drink the one, and then you
I said we'll drink the both, and we'll see how it goes.
No,
He
you
said
pivoted.
one. I said both.
You pivoted pretty hard during last episode, and I just want to say again, thank you to Andrew. I'm going to go back to the Conshohocken Brewing Company. Ring the bell, American Lager, because I didn't get a chance to drink mine last week.
It's much better than the other one.
1 pint, 4.8%. I think I'm going to get through this one, but don't worry, because my cousins have been such good. I have a nice side over here of cousins make the best friends.
So it tastes like red wine.
Release the Kraken!
My friend Jason Bliss today went to go see Charles Woodson's new vineyard or new vintage. Apparently he's into the wine game now. Good for him. He has to stay active in retirement.
Episode 180. Zach, finish this line. Have a baby by me, baby.
I have no idea.
You're so white, it kills me.
Go on.
It's 50 Cent. Have a baby by me. Have a baby by me, baby. Be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby. Be a millionaire.
Cool.
Does he
you
have
a millionaire?
Sure, in spirit.
So you're going to have a baby and no money. Enjoy. Welcome to the rest of our world.
What makes today different from all other days?
Exactly. Yeah.
We didn't get a chance to recap from 2 weeks ago about the baby shower that we had, and a lot of good stuff has been going on in my life. So, Zach, I went out of my way to plan this amazing baby shower, and as I've been telling people, we used up all of our rain karma. The fact that we went to Mexico, got married, perfect weather, I said I could not care if it pours buckets on that Saturday. And what happened?
Poured buckets for like a week. It's biblical. Gathered 2 of every animal that day. Beyond.
Go ahead. Give me your thoughts. Give me your opinions.
On the rain?
On the whole event. Did you have fun? Did you get some food?
I think I had food. I know I got gummy bears. I got a gummy bear shot that tasted like diabetes, and it was in like a Crystal Pepsi bottle or something horrible.
You're acting like I didn't know and make all this stuff, but go on.
Yeah, but like the bottle was so ghetto. Nevertheless, yeah, I had some Jersey pizza, Fugazi. I had some wings from Cluck U or whatever the hell they were from.
They were
fine. You go bone out. I go bone in.
I got both to be nice to everybody.
Yeah, you weren't nice to anybody. Zoe actually had a much better time than she thought. She was pissing and moaning that there weren't going to be enough kids there. She wouldn't know anyone. She found some little kid right away. What's her face from West Virginia?
Kira.
One of those. You were looking down. Thank God. Yeah, I did it. I almost didn't, but then I did. So the kids had a blast. And the highlight for them was no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Because all the kids were jumping on Alan and Julia's bed, and kaboom, it went down. And it went down hard.
Well, that was the first time in a long time something went down and got down on that bed in a very long time. So
yeah, Julia told me it was unbreakable. Maybe you just don't bring the thunder. Because a couple of 9-year-olds, that thing didn't stand a chance.
There also was a 13-year-old who was the culprit in that.
What the hell is he doing on that thing?
Learning
from the 9-year-olds? Oh, God. Yeah. Nevertheless,
it was fun. The highlight of the baby shower was told to me post after the everything, your daughter, who is becoming more and more like you every day, we're getting to the point, Zach, you might need to sit her down.
Say what? You rock?
Yeah, you're gonna hurt your hand from giving her such a big high five after this story. I don't think you heard about this. I got all those amazing little donuts, those super fancy, overpriced donuts. So she goes up there, and my brother-in-law is kind of hovering, and he's not really a joking type of person, but for whatever reason,
not all that warm.
He's standing there, and Zoe reaches and grabs one, and Jason just happens to joke with her, and he goes, "Hey, that was the one that I was going to take." And she turns at him, rolls her eyes, and goes, "Oh, well."
So callous. At least she didn't tell him to fuck off. She pretty much did.
Your 9-year-old child has problems.
That's so good. What is her problem? Kicking ass? Being awesome, baby? Whatever.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Like, what did he say? He just ate it? He just took and,
I think he took another one, and nobody cares. I really think he was just teasing her and being fun with her, which was kind of cute.
I love that she threw it right back at him. Backhand.
I got to get this off because I'm dying. No
one's going to give her shit. Poor bastard she brings home. It's going to be like Jeff Green and Susie and Curb.
We got a million presents. I don't remember who gave what. I'm fairly sure Shelby got this bib that says Little Matzo Ball. It's fantastic. And I was wearing this, but I'm choking myself.
We got the good present.
Yeah.
What was the best present you got? We got that.
I think Big Mike gave us $200 gift card to Amazon, which I might use on beer or something. That's probably the best.
We gave you one to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Did they go out of business yet?
Yeah.
No, but Shelby giving me that thing. I actually love that. We're going to use that a lot. So as far as like things that could have went wrong, did you hear about my mother-in-law?
Your mother-in-law?
Yeah.
Yeah. You told me bits and pieces, but...
Well, that's what her hip was the night before the party. Wow. Basically, she fell out of bed. And then they had to take her to the hospital. And then Saturday morning, they go to do surgery, and she went into cardiac arrest. They had to use the jaws of life to bring her back.
The jaws of life or the defibrillator, the clear thing?
No, they said CPR, and they definitely had to intubate her, but that was like
the jaws when they open a car up.
I know, Zach. It's Jesus Christ. I gotta explain comedy to this kid.
If you think so.
That was one of those things where I was like, okay, let's just make the best out of the situation. Where that, the shots thing couldn't have went any worse. I thought that little Plinko game we played the previous week, it was the biggest hit. We had so much fun. And then at the party here, it was like doing an open mic and nobody gave a shit.
It was rough. The kids weren't that into it. And the kids were a tough crowd. Plus you had Mrs. Softy on the couch, just doling it out.
I have so much candy left over that I brought it to work. I can't give the stuff away.
Your dad fell asleep during it. They've got a picture of that.
He laid down and took a nap at one point. It was great.
He just sat there in the chair and took a nap. You did the same thing at your bachelor party. You took a nap. You just like father like son. You missed the best hour of the whole thing.
Not what I heard.
Whatever.
It's weird at my office that I have so much candy. Patients come in, and I pretty much do all the work for 45 minutes. They do 10 minutes of stretches, and then I go, hey, take a piece of candy. And they go, I don't want to eat all the work I just put back in. I'm like, you didn't do anything. I did it.
Family guy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Zachy, we had another ultrasound or something last night. We still don't know a gender.
But we didn't have shit. She did. You showed up and stood
I've been going to every single... I don't think we're doing a second kid. I've been giving you a lot of grief. I can't do another one of these. Between her complaining and all these doctor's appointments,
Did you read the baby books?
They made baby books? They made a movie out of that?
Exactly. I had to read What to Expect When You're Expecting after I got thrown out of the doctor's office.
Julia made me watch the movie. Unwatchable.
What movie?
What to Expect When Expecting.
It's a movie?
They waste Chris Rock in that movie.
He's
wasted.
In that?
Yeah.
Get the book.
So this ultrasound we have last night, the worst part is like they go in, they're joking. It turns out it's a mother and daughter team that I put together because the lady starts telling me about her husband.
That's
and then they don't. They just say, oh, this is Tara. She's a training person. And then the lady starts telling me about her husband going deer hunting when she was going to labor. I said, wait a minute. He went deer hunting, and they both snap and go, yes. And I said, time out. How do you know? And then I do this like, oh, mother-daughter team.
So you didn't go Marissa Tomei? What about these pants?
I did all the bits that I could in this doctor's office yesterday. But the weirdest was, and there's just times in my life that I just sit there and I go, what the hell did you say that for? Like, we're not there, but they're more or less going on.
At that moment.
they're showing the ultrasound and I'm looking at it and they go, oh, look at the hair on this kid. And I go, really? And they go, much better than yours.
Oh, I was like, Asians have good hair. They keep their hair lustrous.
Yeah. So at this baby shower,
Jews don't.
You know, I didn't know that Julia went rogue. I think when you have to like guess the baby's height, guess the baby's weight, these things are so stupid.
They're great.
These were so dumb. I appreciated some of the things. Now, I went ahead and I'm going to read the results live on BYD here. We ended up having a grand total of 29 people that answered, and 3 of them in your family, so thanks for that. As far as resemblance, the score was 22 Julia, 6 Alan, and 1 person I'm going to go with abstained because they just didn't check a box.
Idiots.
I then went and calculated. I didn't realize how many people think Julia is kind.
She is.
That got a lot of votes for her kindness, but for her, she got looks/hair a lot of votes, but without a doubt, 18 of the 29 people said things related to my humor, my personality. Go fuck yourselves. That's all I ever needed and wanted. In this
what did I say?
Yours was pretty good. I think I put yours at the top here because you ended up going with, I think you said nose and hairline for the things that you hope they get. Like an absolute ass. Dallas Josh had a good one. He wrote, it was very well thought out. Hair, line through it. Looks, line. Oh no, hair, line through it. Brains, line through it. Out of ideas.
So he's writing in strike text. This guy.
The little one, Julia's niece, Kira, she wrote, I hope the baby gets dads. She wrote, nothing JK kindness.
Wow. My daughter's the asshole.
I'm so good to that little kid. I cannot believe she did. There were so many really nice things that people wrote. It's funny. The other part of it, like the time, the date, all the stuff.
It was insufferable. It's like a math quiz.
The worst part was we got all these bottle openers popping bottles and nobody took them.
I took one. I can't reach it, but it's up there. I liked it. Anything free, I'll take. The gummy bears, I'm taking your couch if you let me.
How long have you been hanging out with Aunt Marlene?
Not long enough. We hang out? We should hang out.
Her favorite number's free.
Pretty good. How would she take?
She actually didn't feel well. She couldn't make it that day.
And I had a caramel ice cream that I took a chocolate, and Andrew told me that I was way off base. I had to go back into it, negotiate with your mother. Not an easy sell. But I got the caramel. He knows his stuff. It tests.
It was good?
Yeah, it was good. His answer was the only kind of guy who wouldn't know, so I took his word for it.
All in all,
funny, Andrew.
We're coming down the home stretch here. I got a couple more weeks of
down the stretch they come.
Seriously, I'm just getting to the point now, and we found out yesterday the baby is doing somewhat well. It's like 6 pounds at this point. It's going to be a half a pound more per week, and I just said, well, that's like 8 pounds or something. And then the doctor goes, oh yeah, your baby right now is in the 34th percentile. You're doing amazing. I looked at this guy, I was like, hey, I know you're Asian, but 34th percentile is not very good. He goes, no, you just don't want to be low or high. 34? Come on.
So this is a small kid.
I don't think so, because Allison said her kids were super small.
How are they doing now? They're tall. There's some height to them. Skinny, but tall.
They're not an Elias, but I wouldn't call them Manute Bowl either.
Fair enough. I don't know. Apparently the Elias makes up for it with the snark.
Oh, well. And the eye roll. It's so good.
Couldn't care less. Callous.
Zach, I'm going to need some help with something because this week there were 3 situations and I'm not sure where you stand on them as far as people being fired. Because as of now, nothing happened to one person. The other person's been put on leave and the other guy got shit canned instantaneously. Snap call, and it was a big deal.
Who was that one?
Candidate number 1 for this mini who did the worst thing was Huggy Bear himself. Why don't you go ahead and tell our audience what happened with him.
Huggy Bear called the kids from Xavier a couple of Catholic...
Xavier.
Sure. A couple of Catholic flagships. He went ahead and said the word twice, the F word you can't say.
Let's just call them cigarettes, right? We all know what we're talking about. You and I don't use that word ever, but, F-GS cigarettes. Great. Called him a bunch of...
Anyway,
called him that twice.
Agreed. Because one time wasn't quite enough. He went for it. He's all in.
And so nothing happened to that guy. Nothing whatsoever. Second person was Oakland A's pregame or maybe regular game guy.
Game guy.
Kuiper. I don't know what it is. Did you see what he did?
I sent it to you.
Okay. Go ahead and read what he did and said. Or you can paraphrase if you like.
It was a Negro League. I say that? League barbecue. And he used a different word. and he didn't miss barbecue or league. He used the N-word.
He was talking about how great Kansas City is and all these other things, and he basically want to talk about the Negro League. I think
went
it was
to the museum.
The museum.
Yeah.
Except, do you know what my problem with that situation was? I've talked to a lot of people about this. The fact that the guy next to him didn't react, that really
stone-faced him.
Because I think he probably says the word, or at least he had said it during the day. Whatever it was, it came out very smooth. I think in his head, he thought he said Negro. The fact that the guy next to him didn't flinch.
It's Kansas City. Do what you want.
He's apologized a million times. Right now, the Oakland A's, I don't know if you saw, they're doing like $99 for 70 game pass or something right now.
By the way, also good seats still available in Cincinnati. That place has got 11 people in it, but still, he made a statement, and they're quote figuring it out. What steps they're exploring some options.
And then I'm a Barstool guy. I know Portnoy, Big Cat, and KFC. I can't name many other people who work there or do anything. But another guy, I think he's like a pretty high upper. He has a show. Ben Mintz or Mincy, whatever he is. Did you see what he did?
No.
This got ugly. He has a show, a podcast or something, and he starts, I don't even know the context. He was singing a song, and he was going through a song that had the hard N in there, and he basically was doing the rabbit in it, and he said the word, and like immediately was like, oh my God. Oh, and he kept going, but he knew what he did, and he knew he messed up. I think he was fired before the podcast was over.
Wow.
Which one of those was the worst? The guy who still has his job?
The both of them that still have their job. Because the A's guy will be fine. He's old and senile. They'll just keep him. They'll ride him out for the rest of the season. Then he'll retire. Who's the worst? Huggins, because it was a conscious statement that he said twice. One guy was an old-timey slip of the tongue, and the other guy, I guess, was quoting a song. Huggins just went for it. And because he doubled down because one time wasn't enough, and he threw the word Catholic in there for good measure. That's gotta be the worst. Except he's the one who actually has a winning record, so they keep him.
What I couldn't take was the Barstool defense. Portnoy basically was like, we feel so bad. They just sold themselves to Penn for all this money, and Penn came out and said, we're trying to get to these states and do stuff. We can't have you saying this word on air. Like, we just can't do it. And they just let him go, and who knows if they'll bring him back. But it's really, really bad.
Yeah, but was he anybody or was he expendable?
They're all expendable, my friend. When you sell your company for hundreds of millions of dollars, everybody's expendable.
Yeah, except when you're a coach who wins. Those are the only guys in the world that aren't expendable. As Jim Calhoun would say, not a dime back. That's one of my favorite rants of all time. The best.
Talking about coaches that wins, you saw the Bucks coach got fired 2 years after he won the championship?
Ridiculous.
Did you care about
that? His record
that?
is like insane. Even when he won with the Hawks, he had a good record. It's the stupidest thing in the world.
Except he was the favorite to win the title this year with Giannis in his prime, and they got lost. He got outcoached. He made mistakes, and he lost in the first round. I thought that was a terrible decision. I'm just curious what you think.
I think it's an insane decision to fire him. Who are you getting that's better? Unless you've got a guy in mind that you're going to get, that's an insane thing to do.
It was just spite, right? It was like,
I
hate you.
Because Milwaukee wins so often in sports. Jesus Christ, they should be blowing him daily.
Hey, Zach, what you watching?
Who do you think's the best, the worst, whatever it is, out of those three? Yes, me.
I already said. Well, the Huggins thing is terrible. The fact that he consciously did it was really bad. But I think in order, Huggins bad. The side reporter for not even flinching. The guy probably thought he said Negro League, and the other person who just is like,
the guy also might think it's 1938 and that still flies. He's 100. Anyway.
Hey, Zach.
What am I watching? I'm watching my shitty Knicks go down in the flames. It's a disaster. And the Mets never win. I'm also watching the Kraken. I'm watching an insane amount of bad sports. I'm watching
Seattle Kraken?
Yeah, they're on all the time. But if I'm trying to fall asleep, that's what I fall asleep to almost every night. The Kraken game. I couldn't tell you a player on the team, but I watch the whole day, every night.
It's pretty good. Second year, they've making it to the second round.
They're pretty good. They've got a Bear season 2 coming out. Cool. Mm-hmm. Cocaine Bear.
Julia told me they just brought in somebody big for the second season. Something I was like, oh, really? They're getting names now.
No, I'm not watching anything. I'm still watching Maisel. I was still watching all of Zoe's shows like Next Level Chef and such. I got nothing new to report other than my Knicks. So, how's the weather? Oh, what are you watching?
Julie and I just crushed a show. It's high comedy. It's not as good as the original Jury Duty, but there's a new show on Amazon. It has nothing to do with Pauly Shore's Jury Duty, which
Oh.
you and I love. They tell you the concept in the first 5 seconds, so I'm not ruining this. It's mockumentary style prank show where they're doing a bit about jury duty where one guy has no idea that there's camera. They just say we're doing a little thing and there's 8 million hidden cameras. Everybody else is an actor and they're all in on the bit. It's written. You know, they have earpieces. They're telling them what to do. They bring in James Marsden, who has to play himself, obviously, who becomes the guy's.
That's why you're in it. The balls deep.
I'm not saying that I didn't.
Sitting
it didn't
there with
move a
a
little
belt
bit.
around your neck. They say you should have a spotter.
Who says that?
Everybody says that.
Oh my God. I can say this on air. So my father-in-law, who has his issues, has been lately going, I heard, and then he just says something insane. Just a statement that you stop and you go, really? Where did you hear that? And he always goes, oh, I forget who told me. It's like, you can just say anything. Like, oh, I heard this.
Brilliant.
Really? And then you go,
Genius.
God, I
I'm
can't
gonna use
remember
it
who told me
tomorrow.
that. Oh, I heard this. This show, though, Zach, it's they give up the ghost in the 7th episode, and then the last one is where they just show all the reveals of everything. There are so many moments in the show that I was cackling out loud laughing. Here's the catch.
What's it called?
Jury Duty, ass.
That's what it's called. Just Jury Duty ass. Let's go.
Here's the catch. The show on Amazon is actually on the Freevee platform, which nobody in their right mind has. You can watch it on Amazon with 2-minute commercials.
How many commercials?
A lot, like 2 or 3 an episode. It's a half-hour show. You'll crush this in a weekend. It's a trust me show.
It's free, at least with the commercials?
Yeah, free with the commercials. Where you just hit mute, you sit there and go hit the Pishadoo, something like that. There's so many moments. It's rated PG-13 maybe, but there's so many moments. I promise you'll get a good laugh per episode.
All right.
I mean, James Marsden going, I got to go make dirty water. I lost it. That's great.
All right, I'm into that.
All right, buddy. Feeling jerky? Give me some quirky.
You took a bunch of mine. You took the A's announcer and Huggins, so I'm running out of stuff here.
That should be our new battleship. Like, I start bringing up things and we see who has good stories left.
Apparently, now that the city just stinks of pot all the time.
I told Eric about this.
Right. So people are throwing out their roaches from their joints, and dogs are eating them and getting high. That's a thing.
You can't get high on your own supply.
This fucking guy. Well, apparently they are. It's like the guy from Road Trip. The dog was just stoned at all dogs in the city are high.
All dogs go to heaven?
Something like that.
Do you know what your boy told me? Because I did ask, like, hey, how's the city these days? And I swear to you, he goes, a lot of fentanyl smoking going on in my subway. And I went,
fentanyl?
Time out.
The same train as him.
You know what fentanyl smoke is like? And he quickly goes, yeah, it's sweet like cotton candy. And then Beth jumps in like, no, it's actually like a mustardy smell. He's like, oh yeah, it's a mustardy smell. I'm sitting there going,
so they're both smoking fentanyl.
It's one of those drugs that you could put down next to anything in front of me, pretty much any color, and go, that is fentanyl. I'd go, okay.
Sure. I have no idea what it looks like.
No clue.
I know that, like, weed is green and meth is blue. That's about all I know about other stuff.
Meth is not blue. That's a Breaking Bad thing.
Anyway, you know about Randyland? I love Randyland. When Randy Arozarena hits a home run into a little, like, blue area, everyone in the place gets a beer. He did it the other night. He put one into Randyland.
You almost just sunk 2 of my battleships in one thing.
You're into Randyland? You're both deep in that?
We'll get there.
Okay. This one, apparently, a truck spilled over in middle nowhere, Massachusetts, and Murfreesboro, and it was full of mac and cheese all over the place.
Sounds amazing. Wait, Murfreesboro is where?
I have no idea.
It's in Tennessee, right? Fish plays there.
Yeah. Chattanooga. Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Well, now you can go there and get an obscene amount of mac and cheese on the highway. That made me laugh.
And then we're going to Chile and getting some Gucci shorts.
Exactly. And just because it's weird, giving a shout out to Zombie Gloves. Should be sponsored by Zombie Gloves. Now, I feel like I've got my kid in surgery right now. I handed my baseball glove over to a stranger on 103rd Street yesterday, Zombie Gloves, and he's supposed to be bringing it back from the dead by Monday. Price to be determined.
What's wrong with your glove?
The thumb loop broke. It needs to be restrung. There's a hand pad. The guy's the man. He says he can bring them all back.
How old is your glove?
From 94, 93. It's got a Ryan Sandberg in it. It's old. They don't make the style that I like anymore. I've done a deep dive. And
Rhino.
so I found this guy online. We got to texting. He's a nice Jewish boy. He's bald. He's a something designer, and he does this on the side. He's done hundreds of gloves. This is his, side hustle.
I wouldn't leave
to
it.
be the best in the city.
It would be like a child. I'd be sitting there watching him fix it.
I can't. It takes a week. I better quit my job. Maybe. I'm terrified. I'm so nervous. But if he does a good job, I'm gonna blast him everywhere. But yeah, have you ever opened a sentence with "Hi, are you zombie gloves?" That's how I open the text message, and he writes back, "Yes,
yes, I am.
Yes, I am." I handed no money changed hands yet. He said it's gonna be expensive, but we'll work on it. I didn't flinch.
Time out. You really didn't do a price thing before this?
We discussed. It depends on what needs to be done. There's a range. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the range.
I don't know if I talked about this in my solo episode from Costa Rica, but when we first got there, the one guy set up like personal massages for everybody, and the girl spoke no English. And I went, "How much?" And she goes, "I'll find out when it's over." And meanwhile, you can't enjoy a massage because the whole time you're going, "This is gonna be like $600." Like I can't believe I agreed to this.
Well, how many flips?
One flip.
That's $40.
Wait, why would you ever flip more than once?
I don't know. You may be able to go twice. I mean, in my old age, I can't go more than once. But you're a young, spry guy. I think you got 3 shots in you.
Oh, there's a massive bumblebee that just came in my house.
I hear it. Bumblebee tuna. Anyway, so the more flips, I would assume he charges you more. And she goes back and she does your legs, and Harry carries you again. Doesn't matter.
I don't think you know how flips work. We might need to talk about this.
You flip over, she J's you O, and then you go back to getting a back rub.
No, it starts with the back rub, my friend.
Right, but then you go back to it. The more flips, the more pops, the better.
The quicker they get you out of there, the better it is for everybody.
Not if it's $600.
Pishadoo of the week. Zach, I have 7 candidates for you. Are you ready?
Sure.
First one's breaking news as of maybe an hour ago. Ya boy, Tucker Carlson, came out today suing Fox News and will be starting a show on
OAN, Newsmax,
Twitter.
A show on Twitter?
Yeah. What? Now you have to ask, why is it a Pishadoo, or are you just like, he's a Pishadoo? I'm
desperate. It's just so thirsty.
Do you know how streaming video on Twitter works?
No.
Not great. There's other platforms out there that you can do it. Twitter, I assume this was Elon going like, here, free speech, say what you want to say. But
yeah, just get after it.
This is going to go really poorly.
Yeah. It looks terrible. Twitter, there's like 3-minute videos on Twitter. There's shit.
Candidate number 2. Wander Franco. This happened, 2 days after our last show? For people who don't know, he's a shortstop. 2 outs in the 2 outs, top 7. Ground ball hit him at shortstop. He catches it with his glove, throws it up to himself, catches it, guns the guy out. Then leads off the next inning and hits a 425 bomb. But of course, the baseball purist, why would he flip it up to himself? I thought it was great because it gets eyes on the sport. I know a lot of people, Rosenpenis, who said, I can't believe he did this.
D-bag he is. Not Franco, Rosenpenis.
And the situation
of the momentum. And you know what? If you don't like it, beat the throw. He's got a hose.
It's more one of those like, hey, Willie Mays, great play. Now don't do that ever again.
Yeah, fine. There wasn't a hold my beard. It was just good. He's good. Don't ever do it again. Do it all the time. I don't care. Continue to do it.
We agree. Oh, yeah. I love this.
Love Wander. I want him on the Mets. They could use anybody.
Not gonna do it.
God, nobody goes to the Mets.
Next candidate.
Geriatric pitcher spasms today.
Here's a great one. I forget what the guy's nickname was, but last year, right before the season started in football, the Bills had a punter, Matt Arizia, whatever he was. Remember, he was like punt god or something. What was his cute little nickname? And then, don't you remember he got in all the trouble for some frappuccino?
Arizia,
yeah, maybe that's what it was. So he lost everything.
Yeah.
So they did a real deep dive in that situation, and guess who's been found completely innocent of everything? Wasn't even the house when that young lady was molested.
God. Bless America.
It's bad.
It's bad.
That lost everything. He'll never, ever even come close to working or doing anything in football.
Whatever, the Jets need a punter. Let's go. He's innocent. Sign him up. He's good.
This is just one of those things that, I think we even mentioned the story where, the person gets found innocent, page 14 back, person found guilty. It just never ends. or even accused never ends.
Ravens need a punter. Is your guy? You don't care. I don't care what he did.
I would take Henry Ruggs. I would take just about anyone. Are you kidding me? I have no heart, no soul, Zachy.
I've never seen the AFC Championship game maybe a couple times. I've never made an appearance. I'd kill for all these guys.
Next candidate. I didn't read the article. Here's the title. Hotel guest wakes up to the hotel manager sucking his toes.
Oh! It's the nastiest thing ever. It's like White Lotus.
Now, here's my counter to this.
No
Do
counter.
you not deadlock the door? I know, like,
No,
I know.
Keys.
No. With the thing that you push over to the side.
You mean the thing that you can move with a credit card? No one can.
You can move that with a credit card? Because I've watched TikToks on how to do it. Not that I ever want to, but I was curious.
It's really challenging. You just need 2 paper clips and you've got to finagle it.
How long? How long would it take you to do it with 2 paper clips?
20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Forever. Maybe 10 minutes. Take forever.
Kicking the dick?
No.
Okay. I think it's harder than you realize.
No, it's hard. I've seen it done. But
Okay.
it depends also on the angle of the thing. The more upright, the easier.
I'm not sure what we're talking about right now.
The chain lock.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the
I mean anything that goes at the top of a hotel door that prevents it from being open.
The bar one impossible. The chain lock you can finagle.
I actually have seen videos. The bar one possible. I thought that's what you were saying, but at this point, I'm
bar
basically
one's much harder than the chain.
I didn't say it was hard or easy. I just know that it's been done. I know for me now, I'm putting a suitcase in front of the door when I go to sleep. Like, this has definitely terrified me.
Oh, don't say the shady hotels where the guy's going to suck your toes. What hotel was it? Oh, it definitely matters.
No,
Motel 6 or like a W.
Next candidate. Remember we talked about AI making music?
Yeah.
It's coming out, and there's been some ones. I thought it would be original music. What they're doing is they're having covers. It's a lot of covers. It's a lot of Biggie singing the Jay-Z N *** GAS in Paris. You have Kurt Cobain doing Radiohead's Creep and Black Hole Sun. It sounds a little computery. It's these cover things I don't need. I thought it was going to be original stuff.
Yeah. I want the Beatles with Hendrix and Kurt Cobain and Janis Joplin singing backup. That's what I want.
Next candidate, Jared Vanderbilt. I think he plays for the Lakers.
Sure.
He was spotted out wearing some ridiculous ghetto up outfit, and it was great.
Ghetto up?
$2,000 or whatever. Anyways, kept the tags on. The next day, returned it to the store that he bought it at, and the worst person who works there called him out because he saw the picture online the night before, saw him do that, and just it was $2,000 for this thing, and he's just like, get out of here.
I love it. I love the guy who called him out. I love that he tried to return it. I love all of it.
This isn't a medical office. There's no HIPAA violation. Like, call these people out.
He's a clerk. Clerks can do anything. Beth threw David Schwimmer out of a gallery once. These things happen.
Really?
Yeah, she thought he'd be taller, was the quote. And her boss made her call him to apologize. Like when your parents make you call someone teacher, yeah, she had to call Schwimmer and apologize.
Oh, so
the story is great when she tells it.
This past weekend, we had to kill some time before they took the boat back. And 2 brainiacs, or self-proclaimed, we sat down and played this states game, the 4 of us. I beat the snot out of the 3 of them. And then at the end,
states game?
And some trivia states game that we happen to own that I think we've looked at once.
I'll smoke you guys in that.
I'll just be honest. I was getting questions that were insanely easy. It was, which state is closer to New York? Pennsylvania or New Mexico? I mean, the questions I were getting were insane. I ended up tying Beth in the end, but it was one of those like playing against a girl who went to Yale and Eric who knows everything about everything. That I ended up
Yale-ish.
And last candidate, Howard Stern was at a Knicks game, and he has come out and said,
"Wait, Beth and Eric are candidates for not knowing the states. That's part of it."
Yes.
Okay.
They knew the states. They did very well. Howard Stern called a lot of the players racist because they would come over and dap up all the African-American celebrities, and they would see him and walk right by him.
They have no idea.
Not even a little bit, Zachy.
He's just a big, gangly guy in the front row.
A little too woke these days, if you ask me.
Howard or a general?
Howard.
Yeah. Well, everybody is. I mean, it's definitely the toe sucking, followed very closely by Eric and Beth not knowing the states.
They knew the states. That wasn't what it was. It was the trivia part of
Right.
it.
Not knowing about the states.
All
Idaho
right.
potato. It's not rocket science.
Last one. I did some type of trivia
Oh, there's still
because
more? That was
that's
it.
it.
No one.
7. That's it. You want me to read them back?
No, it's the guy with the toe sucking. There's no way. There's no number 2. It's the nastiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You wouldn't let your toes be sucked?
No.
Really?
By the hotel manager?
There's a price to that.
Oh, of course, there's a price to it, and it's shockingly low. But
I was going to say more or less than the cost of your sister.
more.
Wait, you would let your sister get kidnapped for more or less?
Who's sucking my toes? I gotta
Me.
see the person.
Me.
It's more expensive. The cartel can have her.
I saw a funny article
Shit.
online that was about prices of stuff at ball games. So it's funny that you said that there was free beer. Here's what I got for you. I have the lowest number, the highest number, and one that was in the middle. It was median-ish. Hot dog prices. I'm going to read 3 cities in alphabetical order. Arizona, Baltimore, and Miami. The hot dog prices for the lowest one was $3. The middle one was $6.99. The highest one was $8.25. Match the price to the hot dog. Arizona, Baltimore, Miami, $3, $6.99, $8.25.
Miami won.
When you say one, you mean the what?
Most expensive.
Miami, the most expensive. Okay.
Most expensive. Baltimore, number 2. Arizona, cheapest.
Okay.
No. Arizona 2, Baltimore 3.
Baltimore, the cheapest. Miami,
Yeah.
the most expensive. All right. Cheapest, Miami was $3, so you got that completely wrong. Arizona was the middle at $6.99, and Baltimore, they must put some crab or something on it. It was $8.25 for a hot dog in Camden Yards. Amsterdam, buddy.
I know,
And
right?
the last one,
Still spending money at Orlando's.
the other question I saw on there,
Stevedores make a lot of money.
I think this might be easier than I realized, but the cost of beer per ounce, I assume this is the Bud Light draft. 3 cities, Dodgers, Mets, and Seattle. Beer per ounce cost, there's 33 cents, 63 cents, and 99 cents.
99 cents has got to be the Mets. The middle one's got to be the Dodgers, I think, and then Seattle. It's a payroll.
All right. Again, you got one wrong. Oh, sorry, you got one right. Seattle is the cheapest. Mets is the middle, and surprisingly, the Dodgers 99 cents for an ounce of beer.
That's insane.
I could have told you that just 'cause I've been there, and I remember being like, $17.50? Are you kidding me? Does that come with a cup?
I'll take 5. Yeah, they've got you by the gotchas. You're gonna drink beer there. It's gonna happen.
Gotcha by the Gotcha is pretty funny.
There's a Cheech and Chong line. I stole that from them from like the 70s.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We're going to keep on doing this. Share it with everybody. Tell us. We love the support. We also love the hate. Zach, the new Flash movie's coming out, and they're bringing back an old Batman for you. It's your boy.
Commercial on Balls Deep. I'm Batman. Well, I see it. I don't know. I'd rather just see the Keaton scenes and call it a day. I don't need to see the rest of it.
You're rock hard, right?
Oh, yeah. If you bring DeVito as the Penguin, you got me.
We out.
Walken as the mayor. So good.